guys, it's Adam and welcome to Thursday Talks episode 32. So I've got two questions today, but before we do those, I'm going to get to a studio pottery haul. Paid 20 quid all in. And basically, I was talking to Rob and he said that I could get like between 10 and 12 pound a piece. He also said we were slow sellers. But when I was looking at the photos, because I didn't actually see these, I got these delivered, and when I was looking at the photos, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but they appeared a little bit bigger. So they do look slightly smaller, but I do think I can still get at least between that 10 and 12 pound a piece. Now, I did pay 20 quid and there's 7 pieces, so it's not too bad. There's still profit in it. But I was happy to take a slightly smaller profit if when I was diving into this, because it is a new niche, and I always say to myself, I'll take a smaller profit on my first go when I'm going into a new niche, and then I'll be able to see what's what in the niche. I'll be able to say I've sold it, and then I'll just be a bit more aware. So I always say to myself, if I have to, I will take a little bit of a smaller profit. But I think there's still good profit in these regardless, to be honest. So I'll just quickly rattle through these really quick. There's only 7 pieces, and then we'll get on with the questions. So there's this one here, and it does say made in France on the bottom there. Don't know whether you can see that. But yeah, that one's just a pretty standard one. This one was the one that piqued my interest because it had the mark on it, the EM. But apparently that isn't a well-known mark or anything, so it's pretty standard. But yeah, so that one was nice. I got so basically these 4 that I'll show you now. So those 2 I've just shown you, and then these 2 were in one set, and then these next 3 were in another set. Although these next 3 aren't really a set, but anyway. So this was quite nice. I quite like this one. Like spotted effect. It looks like those, those old metal pans they had. Not pans, but old metal bowls they had with this spotted effect. It looks like that. But yeah, there's no marks on that one. I don't think there's any marks on any of them except that one. I think, obviously, they're made in France on the other one, but so that's quite nice. I think that's glazed. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about actually, so I shouldn't maybe say that because I might get it completely wrong. This is the one I really like. That's really, really nice. I don't know whether I'll be able to get a little bit more than the 12 quid for that one, but I think I'll probably just put it on for the 12. But I'll do some research, obviously, and maybe if I really do feel like I can get more than the 12 for it, then I will put it on for more. Now this was the one I actually thought was slightly bigger, so I don't know whether that's going to affect the value, but Rob did say that he was thinking that this one could go for 20 quid, so I've got most of my money back in that one if I do put that on at 20. But as I say, the size is slightly smaller than I thought, so I don't know whether that's going to affect the value. But yeah, so that one was quite nice. So those 3 there, the last 3 I showed you, were the ones that I liked the most. But I do quite like that one. Got more of like a stoneware effect, I think, that one, or earthenware. But that one looks to be glazed. That one looks to be glazed or something. Varnish, I don't know what the word is. But there, yeah, them. So that was those. And then finally, we'll get on to the questions. So there's only 2 questions today, but that suits me because I've got to get on with stuff as usual. I'm not going to bore you with the details. So anyway, first question. I don't know the guy's name, but maybe I'll edit in a question bar if I get time. I might not, I don't know. Depends if I get time this week. Yeah, so I think it's a he anyway. He asks, what is the best thing? And then I replied thinking, do you mean what is the best thing in terms of reselling? And he said, no, what is the best thing? So then I was thinking, oh my God, how am I going to answer that question? Yeah, it makes you think, that question. It really does. It's such a simple I think it's 4 words, isn't it? What's the best thing? Yeah, it's such a simple 4-word question, but it makes you really think. So I came up with 2 answers for me personally, in my opinion, this is. And one was socialising with family and friends, which, I think a lot of people will agree with. Socialising, it has great benefits for your mental health and all that sort of stuff. And, it makes you feel more positive in general. And also, a big one for me, I know I don't look like I do a lot of exercise, but exercise is one. Well, I don't look like I do a lot of weightlifting because I don't do weightlifting, but I did used to when I was 18. I used to go to the gym quite a lot. But no, I don't do it. To be honest, I don't think I would have time for the gym with reselling and then trying to be social to a certain extent as well. And then, fitting me exercising on top of that would be crazy. But I do a walk. I do try and do like some sort of power walk every day. And that'll be my exercise. And of course, we all know that reselling gives you quite a bit of exercise. Hauling your FBA boxes about. I've got a big crate of video games down there that I've hauled upstairs, and moving your hauls around and all that. It's quite strenuous anyway, really. So yeah, I try and fit in my walk. So exercise is a big thing, and I just don't think there's many, if any, other better feelings than after exercise, after you've really exerted yourself, and you come in and you're tired. And you maybe get a drink or whatever. I usually have milk. Milk's a good one. Or a smoothie after exercise. And it just no better feeling. And then you can relax down. And it's this real good sense of relaxation. It's not like a sense of tiredness that you've just sat there all day long. It's the tiredness that you feel like you've done good. And you just relax down, it's really nice, and then you're ready after 10-20 minutes of relaxing. Well, at my age, after 10-20 minutes of relaxing, maybe if you're older it might take a little bit longer, but yeah, 10-20 minutes of relaxing and recouping yourself, and you're back to it, and you're feeling positive, and that's when I like to attack my business. I feel I'm in that great mood, I'm positive, I feel like I've done good with the exercise, and it just makes things flow a lot better. So yeah, I'd say for me it's exercise, and also getting a good music track when you're exercising, and when you're really starting to feel pumped when you're exercising, and that awesome track comes on, and it just makes it all the more better. Really, that doesn't sound right, that phrase, all the more better. Maybe it's, I don't know. Well, it makes it feel better. There we go. Yeah, so that's that question. So I thought that was a really interesting question, actually, because at the start when I read it, I thought, how the hell am I going to answer that? I didn't even know where to begin. So, I'm quite glad that I've been able to find an answer. And then finally, I think it was C&H, their YouTube channel. Well, the YouTube name is C&H, and they asked, what is my best pickup, or what's my most profitable pickup? Well, to be fair, I've not had any sale over £100 yet. So that is my target for the next few months. Try and find one item that'll get me over 100 quid. That would be really, really good. I mean, it's going to be hard to pick up an item, a car boot, for a few quid and then flip it into 100 quid. But I know a lot of people do it, so it can be done. But in terms of most profitable single item, I would say was maybe the N64, the Xbox 250 gig console, Harry Potter Cinematic Journey that I sold on FBA. These are all like between like 50 and 80 quid. The pegboard that I sold the other week for 47, that I would like to get a bit more for that, actually. And there's been a couple of others around that sort of area. But then switching from single items to job lots, in sort of Lego job lots I've had that I picked up for between like 50 and 100 quid, I've probably made hundreds of pounds profit on those. So in one respect, the most amount of profit I've made has come from job lots rather than a single item. And I think one of the Lego job lots, I think in the minifigures alone, I cleared about 150 of profit, and I've still got some listed actually. And yeah, it's still ticking away and just adding to that profit. But yeah, I made like £150 in the minifigures alone. That's not counting the kilogram bags or anything like that, or special parts and pieces that are sold separately. So yeah, I mean, there's some excellent money in job lots, and it's definitely where I see my business going. I'm buying a hell of a lot more job lots recently. Yeah, and it is really good. So if you can get in on job lots and you can get them cheap enough, if you can find a source that has good quality stock and that is willing to let it go at reasonable prices. I have many different sources now, from car boots, charity shops, auctions, all these different sources, people that I'm in contact with, just tons of different, and what I aim to do is, this is what I like to do, is I want to get to about 10 or 15 places where I can source stock, or methods where I can source stock. So at the moment I've got charity shops, car boots, wholesalers, I've got just people who will give me stock, for a reasonable price. What else? I've got auctions. I've got, there's definitely a few more I'm thinking of. I've even bought things off family and friends. I know that's a very saturated market, but I suppose you could say that is one avenue. There is another thing I've got. I can't think at the moment, but there's just, that's it, yeah, that's it. RA, I've got RA supermarkets, and I've got online arbitrage. So there's just tons of ways you can get this stock, and if you can get the job lots in for a reasonable price, then they're great, So that's my plan with regards to business. Just compile a big sort of index of different ways to get stock, because then you will trust me on this, you will never be out of stock. If you have all those sources, you will never be out of stock. And I'll tell you this now, I got something from a wholesaler the other week, right? And that'll see me for about 2 or 3 weeks. And I mean, that's one source. That isn't car boots, that isn't charity shops. That's not even touching any charity shops or car boots. That is one source. So if you have that big index, I promise you will be able to get too much stock. Honestly, too much stock. But the hard part is finding those good, reliable sources and building those up. That's the hard part. But once you've got that index, you could be living the sweet life, essentially. You could be getting a hell of a lot of stock at really good prices. But anyway, so I'm going to leave it there. As I say, the short answer to that question is the most profit I had was the N64, Xbox 360, something like that, or Lego job lots. So, yeah, leave it there. We're getting on now, so I will see you in the next one, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video.